All right, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about former Howard Stern employee Brent Hatley, and I'm going to be taking a look back at his downfall from soft swinging to eventually pimping his wife out on OnlyFans so they can afford to go to heavy metal concerts and orgies.
I'm going to heavy metal concerts and orgies. What are you doing with your life?
All right, so I'm going to start from the beginning here. This is Brent discussing his first experience with swinging, and it's just pretty much all downhill from here, as you'd expect. And I think everyone on the show knew this wasn't going to end well. He just acts like everyone's trying to be a hater and bring him down. But you know, if you go on the Howard Stern show and talk about this kind of stuff, people are going to make fun of you for it, and they're going to be skeptical of it. And I'm sure they're trying to help him a little bit because they know this is not headed in a good direction. And also, Brent didn't need to talk about this stuff on the show. He could have just kept this in his private life, but he decided to put all this out there because he probably knew the show was the best chance he had of finding anybody decent to swing with. And also, he probably saw what Ronnie was doing because Ronnie's like scores man, and he's going to strip clubs and he's all about having fun and he's doing all this crazy stuff. So I'm sure Brent saw that and he's like, you know what, I think I could pull this off.
We ended up at the end of the night standing out on a street corner in Jersey City. The two girls made out, then I made out with the girl, and she made out with the guy. There was this guy standing there looking like, what the fuck is going on here?
I thought Brent was going to say he made out with the guy.
I did.
That's what you were hoping for.
Shuli said the guy's enormous. I don't know what that means. Fucking your wife. Probably has a nice big cock.
15-incher.
Yeah. You're not going to get crazy?
No.
No. Wow. Then you are a swinger.
Well,
what you're saying is
God.
that Brent has never successfully
I think
swung.
he's the factor. I think he's the X factor.
Really? You think,
I think he creeps him out. I think he's the stick in the fucking wheel.
You have no idea what no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
What's he saying, Brent, about you? He's saying you're a creep.
Yeah.
I've been around him fucked up, right, with a good buzz. He gets a stare on him.
So I think Shuli's definitely right here. I don't think many swinger couples are lining up to hook up with Brent, and I don't really think he thought it through that much, even though everyone was telling him, like, you know what you're getting yourself into? Like, this is, I don't know, it's not going to be what you think it is. And I don't know if Brent's just really confident or he's delusional, because when they're asking him about another swingers party that he goes to, they ask him what he would rate himself on a scale 1 to 10, and he says a 7, which I think is being pretty generous. And also just the fact that he left the Howard Stern show to start a Twitch streaming career or a YouTube podcasting career, which I'll talk about at the end. But that's just another thing that shows he's either really confident or just delusional.
Gnomes.
How do the men look on a scale of 1 to 10? Are there 10s there as well?
Yeah, there are.
And where are
actually.
you on that scale?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I'm probably, because I'm actually in really good shape right now.
Go ahead.
So, I'm probably about a 7 right now.
Listen to Shirley.
Shuli's a 2, so
Right.
I'm a strong 4, motherfucker.
No way. You better respect that.
Well, good for
Pillsbury
you,
Doughboy.
good for you being a
Doughboy.
7, because I'm a 3. But
No, hey, look, man, I was perfectly comfortable standing
Were
there.
there male tens there?
Yeah, there was a
there were guys there who were physically impressive.
Yeah.
So once Brent and his wife actually get into the swinging, they start going to these parties, and they seem like they're either a hit or a miss. They'll go to some, and it'll be like old people, and it's not hardcore enough for him. But then they'll go to others, and there's a bunch of good-looking people, and of course it goes well. And who knows if Brent's telling the truth or not. I think the fact that he does talk about some of the negative experiences gives him a little bit of credibility. But still, it's hard to believe everything he says.
How old is an old bag that was there? Like, how old are these?
I'm telling you, 60 plus.
Oh, really?
It'd be like seeing your mom or your aunt naked. It was
It was traumatizing.
It was traumatizing, and they're sitting in like a circle, taking up 2 beds, talking.
Did you guys fuck in front of the group?
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
do
you
that.
did?
We did do that.
So at some point, your wife goes, "Hey, maybe we should fuck."
Yeah, she said, "Well, while we're here, we might as well do."
So how do you fuck in front of the group? Like, how does that all get going?
So, us and 2 other couples decided, hey, we're going to get, the old bags were taking up a bed on one side of the room. I found that scene all very strange.
For you?
For me.
Wow.
Yeah, I like a more hardcore,
no shit.
fucking scene. Hey, do you want to join us for a cuddle puddle? I'm like, a cuddle puddle?
What is a cuddle puddle?
And they were like, that's where we all lay on the bed and cuddle sensually. And my wife is just like, we're way more hardcore
This
than
is
that.
a woman looking for a dick in her ass.
So no, maybe 2.
Cuddle puddle.
See, that actually sounds like it could be a true story, and that's what I'd expect Brent's swinging story to sound like. So I don't know if Brent just doesn't understand the internet or how people are going to perceive his swinging stories, but talking about all this stuff on the air, especially on the Howard Stern show with his kind of audience, you're not going to get people that think you're cool for doing this or like respect you for doing it in any way. These people are just going to think you're out of your mind and they're going to be goofing on you.
Which way? Missionary?
Missionary to begin with.
Jesus. Oh my God. She's wrapping her legs around him and everything?
She's got her legs spread and he's like going to town.
Wow. I don't know how you do that.
Wow.
So fucking steamy.
At what
Really?
point do you start crying uncontrollably? Like I would?
Well, I mean, that's because you're a pussy and I'm a real man. So
I don't know that I'm a pussy, that I'm not letting strangers fuck my wife.
Hold on, Julie. So wait a second, Brent.
Like, how does he not realize how crazy this sounds? And why do you want to tell this to millions of people? And I do have to give him credit. He has no shame. He is not embarrassed by anything. And I mean, I'm glad he talked about this. It's entertaining. It's funny to listen to, but it just probably wasn't the best idea for him. And he probably thought that he would be some cool guy like Ronnie, like I said in the beginning. And he probably thought he'd be a ladies' man, and now everyone would want to swing with him because he's on this popular radio show and everything. But in reality, it's just kind of sad what's going on. So eventually, Howard and the whole crew take a trip to LA, and this is when things really start to get ugly because Brent and his wife both agree that they can hook up with other people while they're apart. So it's pretty much just like an open relationship now, and they both have dates set up. Brent's wife has a date set up with a guy named the Jackhammer, and you know that's a done deal already. That's going to happen. And Brent has a date set up as well, but you know he's going to have to put in a lot of work and get very lucky, and maybe at the end of the night he'll get something.
You're acting like the new guy, like it's going to be over. Like she's going to be with the guy one time.
What do you mean? How do you know that?
Because we discuss these things.
When he's at your house, can he eat your food? Can he drink your beer? Can he?
Sure.
Yeah, he can just kind of live the Brent lifestyle.
He can hang out.
Wow. So where are you at with this lady in L.A. for your end of this?
Locked in for the same night that Caitlin's going to be going out.
So
with
you're
her
locked
guy.
in for a date.
Yeah, so I have full permission to go on this day. I have full permission to go like hit on girls in a bar, whatever.
You could go trolling a bar.
Yeah.
So during the trip, there's a lot of controversy. They have Shuli following him around, trying to record everything and document it all so they can prove that he actually did maybe hook up with somebody. And he has 2 dates set up for one night, I think. And the first one is with a porn star, and she shows up, and I believe he freaks her out or something. And then she hides in the bathroom, and she calls a taxi and then just runs out and takes off. Then the next girl is a model, and apparently that goes all right. He, of course, claims that they did hook up, but everyone else is skeptical, and I think she even called in and said they didn't hook up. So it sounds like Brent probably struck out, I'd say is the most likely. And, of course, his wife, she's back at home with the jackhammer.
Ronnie's theory is that Brent lost his mind in L.A.
Yes.
He went into the bathroom about 12 times.
You can't count that high.
No, really? Well, I had people with me, not just me.
Ronnie's 100% right. Several people.
Sunglasses on, sunglasses off, into his studio, out of his studio, into the green room area, back into the bathroom. The guy couldn't sit still.
Howard, at one point he was sitting in this little studio, we were all in it, and he's sitting there and he's shaking his head side to side. He's got his hand on his head and he just goes, "This is easily the worst failure in my radio career."
I got to tell you, Brent, I don't know. I don't want some big, good-looking, jacked up porn star fucking my wife. Do you ever wish you could turn back the clock and never have swung?
No.
Oh my God.
Do you ever wish you...
What you think
I'm going to say,
lying?
oh my God, because it's seriously, like, you seemed a year ago to be a much happier person to be around in the office, and to know you actually seem much more depressed and have a lot more anxiety.
So I'm pretty sure Brent left the show soon after this episode because he claims that he was being shamed for being a swinger, which, I mean, I guess you could say he was, but that's just how the show works. I mean, they shame everybody for everything, and also with the internet, people are obviously going to shame you for doing stuff like that. And also, I mean, a lot of these people are probably just trying to help him. Like, they sound like they're concerned for him, and it sounds like he's not doing too well. But still, Howard doesn't care that much because he sees an opportunity here to make this really entertaining, and he gets the jackhammer on the show. At first, he wants to have the jackhammer and Caitlin in the same square during Hollywood Squares, but Brent is not cool with that. He thinks that's crossing the line. He's like, listen, this guy can fuck my wife and everything, but when it comes to them in the same square in Hollywood Squares, that's where I draw the line.
With the jackhammer. I go, that's a brilliant idea.
And what happened?
Brent blew a shit fit.
Really?
You went to California.
Right.
Caitlin fucked the jackhammer in your bed.
Correct.
And having him on Hollywood Squares with her is crossing the line?
Way over the line.
Way
Don't you
over
think
what line?
Jackhammer fucking Caitlin in your bed is over the line?
See, no, you guys are not understanding what I've said on the air. We have a very close relationship. We're not
I know
sexually
that.
exclusive,
Of
but we have a
course I
close
know that.
relationship. And
So Brent actually does end up agreeing to have him on the show, but he has to be in a separate square. And I don't even know what that changes because it's still just terrible.
So your strategy with Caitlin was to go at it very, very hard.
Yeah.
Did you sense that Caitlin had an orgasm, Jackhammer?
I thought she did, yes.
Was there lubrication?
I was wet.
You were wet.
Yes.
She was
You
wet.
didn't need any extra.
Brent, you okay?
I'm good.
All right, pal.
Yeah, he definitely sounded like he was doing okay there. I think whenever his voice gets high, that means he is not doing okay. I mean, who could sit there and listen to this? I don't know how he could keep a straight face and act like there's no problem here, even though he just had a meltdown because he didn't want him on the show. Now he's on the show talking about all this stuff, and he already did all this stuff, which is even worse, obviously, but I just don't know how anybody could deal with this. But maybe I'm just being a hater and I don't understand the lifestyle. But Brent does end up admitting that their plan didn't go well and they just felt weird about it all and they regret it. And he said they're only going to do things together now.
Thank you.
And we kind of didn't like it.
Right.
Either
well,
one of- either
that's
one of us.
where Ronnie is right.
Either one of us. So we've decided we're going to do stuff together because this is a thing that we do together and we share
Yeah, I
it
think
together.
you went too far.
I agree.
Yeah.
I
It got
agree.
out of control.
It was an experiment that we decided to let the audience in on.
Right.
And I think that you were right
Stupid move.
that we went too far.
Yeah.
It's not a stupid move. When you experiment and you try things, we're figuring out what it is that we like.
So this is pretty much the end of his career on the Howard Stern show. It basically ended because of his swinging getting out of control and he just could not handle it anymore. Everyone knew he was just having a breakdown. And he claims he left because he was shamed, like I said, but he's still on the internet talking about this stuff all the time. He has his own YouTube channel. He gets like a couple hundred views. He has like 1,000 subscribers. And some of the comments on the video will get more likes than the video. So you could tell it's just mostly haters probably watching. But if you want to hear what Brent is up to now, go check out his channel. Maybe watch this video, Hard Work. It's just wild what's going on here. And you could tell this is just a broken man. But if it's paying the bills and it's getting him to go to heavy metal concerts and orgies, then what does he have to complain about? He's living the life. So there's just one more thing I have here. And maybe this is fake because this seems too crazy even for Brent. Like, if he believes this is just on another level. But somebody DM'd him apparently and they asked him if he would ever go on Joe Rogan. They said it'd be fascinating, and he responded and he said, yes, there's a project I'm working on. When that's done, I'm going on. And I mean, I want to see him on Joe Rogan. That'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome. But obviously that's never gonna happen. And what is this project that he's working on? Like, what is Joe gonna interview him and be like, so Brent, I heard you were shooting a video of your wife having sex with 3 guys at once. Tell me about all the camera angles and how you produced it and the editing, because that's probably what the project is. I don't know what else he has in the works. So it's just a sad story, but I'll give Brent credit. He provided us with a lot of entertainment, and hopefully he gets it together, but I don't know. I think he's too far gone at this point. Alright, so that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, leave me a comment, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.